So I wanted to show you what the dance halls in Houston look like. I'm going to feature 6 of them in this video. Now, dance halls are a big thing in Texas, and they're a place for people to gather together in communities. They have a long history from the folks who immigrated into Texas and the way that they valued these big dance halls. But they are suffering today. Many have closed, especially in the past 5 years. So I wanted to experience them, I wanted to document them and check them out. Especially, I'll talk about a few that have a long history here in Houston. So let's kick it off with the first one that I went to, which was Rowdy's Dance Hall. This one's in spring, and I went to Rowdy's because Stoney LaRue was playing there. So it was a real Texas experience. See a bunch of people get excited to hear Stoney LaRue. Now, a lot of folks stood and watched against the stage, but then in the back they had a big old dance floor, like an oval shape, and with a bar in the middle. I thought it was a little bit weird, like people going around dancing like they're a bunch of horses in, one of those like horse rinks or whatever. But I had a good time and glad that they're featuring cool Texas acts like Stoney LaRue. Next up is Whiskey River North. This is near Cypress. Pretty compact in there, or you might say intimate. So a little bit of a small dance floor. Not as much room for a band to play as far as I could tell, but they had a nice song selection on the DJs. Had some fun dances there. Now, Stampede, this place has a lot of space. It's pretty comfortable. People were really nice. A couple folks came up and just asked me what I was doing, what my story was, hanging out. I thought this was a place that was pretty easy to dance with women here. I liked Stampede. Didn't see any women dancing on top of the bar though, as they show on their website. So maybe next time. Next up is Moe's in Katie's Place. This one is my favorite. It's historic and it's got a certain vibe to it, that certain energy that I think just makes it a special place. It also has a history in Texas music, and a lot of that I gather is from Moe and his personality. So it turns out Moe was right there at the entrance greeting people when they came in. I didn't know that at first, but I realized it after I saw the photos on the wall of him with a bunch of famous acts like George Strait, and ZZ Top. Staff even was wearing these t-shirts that talked about how cool Moe was on the back. I forget what it said. I wish I remembered. And they had a George Strait cover band that night. It's amazing you can have a cover band of purely George Strait songs and entertain the whole crowd with dancing music. Just talks about how great George Strait is. And one of the women I danced with, she didn't speak any English. And then her friends tried to get me to hang out with her. It was pretty quiet. Next up is Neon Boots. Now this place has a real history as well, although I think its peak days are behind them, at least based on the night I went, even though they've got a cowboy boot shaped disco ball there in the stage. So they got this special room called the Esquire Ballroom, which was the original name of Neon Boots, talking about all the legends who played there like George Jones, Loretta Lynn, Charlie Pride. Has some artifacts, and today it's got karaoke, so you could listen to some folks doing some mediocre karaoke while you check out those artifacts. Willie Nelson was offered a job here to play after they heard his song Crazy. And Willie Nelson actually wrote his song called Nightlife about working at this bar. So real cool history there. Patsy Cline as well was a historic performer here. And her Broadway musical, Always, by Patsy Cline, includes this historical bar in it. Next up is Buck Wild. It is pretty wild in there. They actually do have a mechanical bull with people riding it. I think the others had it, but I didn't see anybody riding them. They had a mix. They had a good amount of line dances. They had some other type of music besides country music here. Seemed to be a younger crowd. Pretty cool crowd. Even had dudes dancing pretty stylishly up there too. Usually I feel like it's the women who are getting pretty extravagant with their dancing. So that's a rundown of 6 of the dance halls or saloons in Houston. Hope you get a sense for which ones look exciting to you. Go and check them out. Keep these things going. Thanks for checking out this video. I post about my music and my musical experiences on here. So hit that subscribe and the bell button if you want to stay tuned on my posts. And let me know in the comments if I missed anything or what you think about these places. So thanks for checking this out, and I appreciate your support.